Sports on Tap Detroit, brought to you by Tap and Barrel Grill, the Realtors of the Joe Wright Group, Jason Stiltner of Flagstar Bank, Baldman Entertainment.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
We are tonight's entertainment.
We're here to fuck shit up.
Sports the way it should be. Nothing sugar-coated, we loaded with all the information you wanted. From legends to prospects, nothing's off limits. Chris and Joe be taking on all topics with no stopping. They keep it rolling and going and ball hopping at a rate that's hard stopping with news that's jaw dropping. Getting it in, Sports Center competition, man, they in it to win. This ain't a fluke, from Carolina to Duke, from MSU to Michigan. You'll know if you listening, if you ain't, you missing it. All the excitement, they shock like a thundercloud and ride with lightning. Get it together, you know ain't nobody better. Bring heat than cold weather. You better put on a sweater, you better just let it go when all come and attack. Sit back, relax, let's tell them what's on tap.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Episode 203 of Sports on Tap Detroit. Alongside Joe Waddell, I'm Chris Scott. Joe, how are you?
I'm all right, man. How about you?
Probably the same as you.
Yeah.
Overwhelmed, I feel like, but
Yeah.
getting through it. It's
Overwhelmed, run down. You know.
Yeah.
The up and down weather is fucking killing my sinuses, dude.
I-
It's been nasty.
I think it's been killing a lot of people's sinuses because I know
Yeah.
at work last week we had a bunch of people out sick. It felt like a different person every day was out sick.
I have felt like a different person every day for the past week.
Right.
So-
I know a lady friend, she was out sick today. She had like 100-degree fever, so she was. Yeah, it's just this weather just needs to pick a lane and go with it, man.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Like one day, this past weekend it was 70 degrees. Like opening day it was like 70 degrees, and the next day it was like freezing.
30.
It's like, what the fuck are we doing here? Now, speaking of that, opening day, I go every year.
Yes.
And I know we had this conversation last year when I went, and I basically shit all over it because it's probably the worst opening day experience that I've ever had was last year. It was
This year?
no last year.
Oh, last year.
It was it was a nightmare getting in there. They were incredibly disorganized. They had, not enough concessions were open, bathrooms, etc. It was just an awful look, and it was cold, and people there were just being assholes, and it was just an overall terrible experience to the point where I seriously questioned if I was going to go again this year. But
I didn't know that. You didn't tell me that.
yeah, I seriously thought about just saying, you know what, I'm fucking done. It's just not worth it because you get it's too many people down there are just down there just to be fucking idiots, like flat out,
Yeah.
So I went. Obviously, I did go this year. Kind of expecting the same as last year. Especially, honestly, I probably thought it was going to be a little bit worse, specifically because it was an actual nice day. Like, it was gorgeous outside. So I thought it was going to be probably worse than last year. I was incredibly wrong. It was outstanding this year. Like, everything went smooth. Like, we pre-gamed at the place we normally go. We go to the Fillmore. That was awesome. Always, that part has never been not great. Every time I've done it, which is I think the past 4 years, it's awesome. We got it. We got in 5 minutes. It took us 5 minutes to get in. That's it.
Yeah.
As of last year, it took us about an hour to get in.
To get into the game.
Yeah. It took us 5 minutes.
I'll be honest with you. An hour last year would have made me not go back this year.
That's why I was seriously questioning just not going.
Yeah.
But this year, we literally 5 minutes, boom, we were in.
Yeah.
Nobody was an asshole. They seemed to have their bathroom and concession issues better. I don't know if it was great by any means, but it was better. Obviously, there was still lines just because it's a shitload of people there. Like there's really nothing you can do about that. But when there's big lines because of lack of concessions, that's a problem.
Yeah.
And they have Yingling there, which is dope.
Nice.
Obviously, the game turned out well. We left around the 7th inning just because we at least wanted to try to somewhat beat traffic home.
Right.
That That was probably the only part of the day that was not ideal, just because getting an Uber to come get you was an absolute nightmare. Because obviously, there's so many people down there. It was just like, but, we finally got one, and, we made our way back home. And it was,
Right.
overall, it was a great day. It really was. It didn't have me questioning whether I wanted to do it anymore. So
Well, that's an upgrade from last year.
it is. And again, especially I think because of the weather, it was just, that's by far the best weather I've ever been to on an opening day. It's not even close.
Yeah.
It was gorgeous.
Yeah, it was a very, very nice day.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I don't go anymore for the reason that you stated. People
Yeah.
are down there so much just to be stupid.
It is
and,
kind of,
and they're down there just to drink and get
Oh, yeah.
shit can hammered, and I just don't have a desire to be in my 20s. Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Now I'm good, man. Unless I'm going to be going to the game,
Yes.
and even then, I'm probably not going down and tailgating and hanging out before the game. I'm going to go down in just enough time to get to the game,
Yeah.
to avoid all the stupidity, and be in the ballpark.
I will say though, when we pregame beforehand, just people watching.
Yeah.
It's
It's
outstanding.
I'm sure.
It is outstanding.
I'm sure. I enjoy people watching, like out at bars and stuff, or
Yeah.
like restaurants and stuff, where, or like we talk about people watching down in was it St. Clair Shores when they have their
Oh, the
gatherings?
fairs?
Yeah, when they have their like
the
every
street-
other weekend they
Yeah.
have like the fair there, whatever.
That
it
was
is.
fun. We need to do that again. That was a lot of
Yeah,
fun. I enjoyed that.
so like I enjoy doing that, and people watching there.
Yeah.
I don't, man, anymore. People watching drunk people be drunk people and be stupid.
So funny.
It like
it's irritating, but it's funny at the same time.
I was gonna say it's becoming more irritating
Yeah.
than funny for me, which is why I try to avoid it as much as possible. But the people watching had to have been epic,
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it is every year. It's
of course.
and I feel like it's always a certain type of person,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like
Yep.
you look and you're like that
Checks out.
that totally that tracks for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Yep.
But so that opening day, and that's one of the things Detroit does really well is opening day.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of cities that do it like that. Like Cincinnati's one of them. They have
Yeah.
they have a great opening day. I think Pittsburgh does, but other than that, I don't know if a lot of cities do it like Detroit does it.
Lady friend says it was a great day. So happy his mom could come this year.
Yes, yeah, that's.
I did see your mom in one of the photos.
Yeah,
so
she
that's
she
awesome.
loves going. So I was happy she could make it this year. That's always a lot of fun when she can come. But
That's good. And you always take her on Mother's Day, don't you?
yes,
Or around Mother's Day?
yeah, whenever like the closest game to Mother's Day.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
that we'll go. But so let's get into that said baseball team.
The baseball.
First couple weeks of the season, and kind of want to get your thoughts so far at what you've kind of seen out of them.
Inconsistencies.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I see right now. They haven't come out and looked great by any means, and Verlander looked bad in his first start. And now he's down for a little while. I don't know. I think right now it's a little early for me to judge, but they're very inconsistent in what I've seen early. So they need to shore that up and get that fixed if they have any shot at doing anything. They're hitting. They have to have hitting, and that was the question mark going into the season that we talked about. It was the question mark last year. They need guys to actually. They need guys to actually pick up the slack of, like Javi Baez last year got off to he was tearing it up for a while. I don't expect that from him.
No,
You know what I mean? Like I don't expect Torque to be
But you should
dropping
apologize.
bombs.
Did you apologize to him?
Fuck no. Where is Javi? No, I fuck no. But they're gonna need guys like McGonigal.
Yeah.
And
Who I think has been off to an excellent start.
he's been off to a very good start.
Yes.
They need guys like him. They need Dingler to progress in hitting. They need some of these guys to come around, because the guys you got it from last year, I don't think you're going to get it from guys like that, like you did last year. I don't think you're getting it from Harvey. I don't think you're getting it from, you got Riley Green, who if he doesn't hit the ball, he strikes out. So like I don't know, man, but
I was
like
told he worked on it in the offseason.
Yeah, well, and then again, Gleyber Torres, Javi Baez, McKinstry. You had a lot of guys last year that kind of played above their level.
Yeah.
To get that team to where it was going, and where it ended up. You're gonna need that from somebody, from some guys this year. Who's it gonna be? Because I don't count on those guys doing it again. I just don't.
The way I've seen it kind of from the outset is I think obviously Skubal and Valdez have been as advertised, and good. That's awesome. Jack Flaherty basically picked up right where he left off last season. Good for a little bit, then has that blow up inning, and then it's a wrap. Casey Mize, very inconsistent. Sometimes, like the game against Arizona, he looked really good.
Yeah.
And then yesterday he looked like shit. Okay. And then I can't even count with Verlander because it's just like, okay, he had one start, then he got hurt. So it's like, I mean, his first start wasn't great by any means, but
Right.
I mean, I don't expect him to be like great at all. I expect him to be solid, and I'm fine with that. That's what a fifth starter should be, and that's what he is at this point. Unless, honestly, if they were smart, they'd put him in the bullpen toward the back end, like as your like eighth inning guy. Him and Jansen, like 8-9.
Yeah,
I could live with that. That would be nice. As for the hitting, honestly, it reminds me exactly of last year. It looks almost the exact same to me. Like overswinging, terrible approaches at the plate, just not doing what you need to do to be a successful hitting team.
Yeah.
It's just it looks the exact same to me. The plate approaches look the exact same. I like how McGonigal has started off his career. Again, we talked about this the last show we did. We don't want to get too high or too low on him, depending on what he does.
Yeah, you don't. You don't want to get too high or too low. But listen, he's getting some extra base hits. He's got a triple. He's got 4 doubles. He's got 11 hits. He's batting to 289.
Yep.
No homers yet, but he knocked in 5 RBIs.
Yeah.
And that's good enough for third on the team right now, behind Kerry Carpenter and Dylan Dingler. Dingler's batting average isn't great, but he's hit a couple of homers, batting 240. That's what they need. They need that. Colt Keith, he's batting 387 right now.
Yeah, he's out of all of them. He's kind of looked, and they did they kind of showed how he changed. He completely changed his batting stance from last year, and it's a significant change.
Yeah.
I'm talking about how he kind of frees up his hands a little bit more, and
Yeah.
you could kind of see it because. Like they showed like the side by side view of his batting stance last year and what it is this year. We're like, oh yeah, that does make a change for sure, and hopefully that continues. That would be nice. But yeah, he's looked solid so far. But again, like the majority of especially the guys that you need to be the guys, they look the exact same to me.
Well, and that's a little bit of the problem, right? Is the guys that Riley Green batting 211 right now. Gleyber Torres 206. And you got a lot out of Gleyber Torres last year.
She did.
And again, he's one that I don't count on. Javi Baez batting 200. Kerry Carpenter batting 194. They don't have anybody batting over 300 other than Colt Keith. McGonigal is the closest at 289.
Right.
And then you got McKinstry at 263 and Parker Meadows at 259. It's inconsistent. It's early, but it makes you.
And then you pile that on top of.
Makes you worried.
It does, but then you pile that on top of their bullpen, and their bullpen has been borderline atrocious. Like it really has.
Right.
The amount of walks this bullpen gives up it's ridiculous. Like flat out, it's ridiculous. Like you cannot be taken seriously as a contender if your bullpen is giving up the numbers that they're giving up right now, especially in the walk category. That is something that is absolutely going to have to be addressed at some point this season before it's too late. I know it's only the first, third week of the season, so I don't want to get too bent out of shape about it. But as of right now, it's not good, and I honestly can't foresee it getting any better unless something drastically changes.
Yeah, no, and Yeah, it's a long season. 162 games is a long season.
Yes.
I'm not willing to say right this second that anything is going to fail or anything is going to succeed, but it definitely isn't looking like it looked last year where they were off to a fiery start.
No, maybe they're going to do the reverse this year.
Oh, maybe. The getting off to a hot start and then collapsing in March is actually what the Wings do. So,
Oh, yeah, we'll get to that in a second. One thing I truly don't understand, though, and people say, well, they played like baseball like this in October. Well, save this for October. Why on earth are we playing baseball games in April in Minnesota and Detroit at night?
that's what I don't
What the
understand.
hell are we doing here?
I don't understand. The Tigers having that Sunday night game.
Like, come on.
What are we thinking?
What are we doing here? Come on. That's absurd. You play it during the day. I understand you have to play the games in cold weather cities, like at the beginning of the season. I understand that. Play them during the day. You cannot play these games. Like that game yesterday in Minnesota, there was like 10 people there. Like seriously, there was 10 people there. That's just absurd. I don't like that. I think it's
I've always had a problem with early season scheduling in Major League Baseball with that, though, because for some reason they don't have you have enough teams out west, and you can play most of the games without being in freezing cold weather at night.
I mean, I
You
get why
don't
they
have-
don't do that though, because then it's unfair to the West Coast teams.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that you have to play every game out west. But you have enough of those games, and you have enough indoor stadiums. You have enough ability to schedule differently, so that you're not playing night games or playing really cold weather games
Right.
early in the season. You can adjust it a little bit. I'm not saying you can avoid it completely,
No.
but you could do a better job.
Could you imagine if the MLB said if
love it.
if you're going to build a new stadium, it has to be at least a retractable roof?
No, because I don't think that's a big deal. I think it's something that probably should be considered. I think it's something that should be considered for NFL teams.
Like a roof?
Yeah.
I'm fine with the outdoor stadiums in football, but baseball, I think it's a little bit different in baseball simply because like pitching the ball and hitting the baseball
Yeah.
when it's that cold,
Yeah.
fucking sucks.
Oh yeah.
Like, it fucking sucks.
Oh, yeah.
Like flat out. It's terrible. But I said my biggest issue with this is play the game during the day, man.
Yeah.
Don't play it at night. That's absurd. That's crazy. Again, but they do it in the playoffs. That's the playoffs. It's different. It's the playoffs.
That's different. You're right.
Speaking of playoffs,
Playoffs?
let's talk about your Detroit Red Wings.
They're not mine. Yeah, they are mine. But
Hey, my
if-
team's not even going to make the playoffs this year.
if I were to, neither are the Wings. if I were to tell you that like halfway through the season that I can't even get my words out. Halfway through the season, the Wings just were not going to make the playoffs at all.
December, they had like a 12-game or 12-point cushion.
Yeah.
And-
I mean,
and-
it's. But again, to tell you that I didn't see this coming, I can't tell you that.
We'll go back to shows I did. I was like, this team is making the playoffs.
I know, and
Like,
I
they look
kept,
legit.
and I kept saying, I don't know.
No,
I don't-
they finally had the goaltending. They finally had a semblance of a defense. I'm like, okay, they have a good coach. This team is making the playoffs. Something is wrong in that room.
Yes. They're.
I don't know if it's clown show Dylan Larkin. I have no idea. Oh, the
I don't know,
amount of people turning on that guy. Yikes!
Well, here's the thing, man. I've said it before, I've said it all along. Larkin is a very good hockey player.
Yes.
He is not a captain. He is not a leader. And he's not great. Like, everybody can stop saying he's great. He's a very good hockey player.
Yes.
But,
He's the Hall of Very Good.
yes, he's the Hall of pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Hall of not great.
Yes.
He just isn't, and he's not a leader. He's not a leader by any means. It's proven with the collapse of that locker room in the past few years. He's not a leader. He's not getting the job done in that aspect. He's not a captain.
It's hard to disagree with you on that, especially when you've collapsed the past how many marches?
At least 3.
Like, and the thing is they still have an opportunity to make it. It's going to be difficult, but they have an opportunity to.
They do. They're 2 points out.
Yeah.
They have, I believe, 5 games left.
Yep.
But the teams that are ahead of them are better than them.
I see. I can't necessarily say that they're better, especially in the Eastern Conference. I look at the Eastern Conference and I'm kind of like, who's good in this? Who is good in this conference? Is anybody good in this conference? I have no idea. The majority of these teams look the exact same to me. Like, there's not one that stands out. I'm like, oh yeah, watch out for this team to go to the Stanley Cup final. I guess Tampa might be the closest one. But even Tampa, I'm just like, that team is incredibly beatable by anybody in this conference.
Yes.
And then you look at the Western Conference, and you have what Connor McDavid referred to as the pillow fight division, the Pacific Division, where I believe the majority of that division, if not all of it, if they were in the East, wouldn't make the playoffs.
If you look at the teams that are ahead of them right now, Ottawa,
Yeah.
better than the Wings, right?
No, I don't think they're better than the Wings.
I do.
I think they're the same. I think they're the same team. I think they are the same team.
Close, but one's going to make the playoffs, the other one isn't.
Maybe.
Well, look at the Flyers, okay? Flyers, same points as the Senators.
Yes.
Flyers are a better team.
No, I don't think they are.
I disagree.
I think the Senators are better than the Flyers.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about better than the Wings. The Flyers are a better team than the Wings.
No, they're not. They're not.
I think the Islanders are too.
Now, maybe, simply because, which is crazy, they just fired Pat Roy with like 4 games, which is awesome. I love the chaos in the NHL right now. Teams are firing coaches and GMs with,
Well, and they play
110 games left in the season. I love it.
the Wings play the Blue Jackets tonight,
And they're losing 1-0.
and they're losing 1-0, and they're tied with points with the Blue Jackets as well with 88.
Now,
So-
I'm looking up the rest of the Red Wings schedule. So obviously,
The schedule.
yes. So as we are recording this on Tuesday night, they're playing the Blue Jackets. Then they have the Flyers. Then they have the already eliminated New Jersey Devils.
All right.
Then they have Tampa Bay, which I don't know if Tampa Bay is going to be playing for much. They might be playing for first in the division because Buffalo is right there with them. And then they end at the Florida Panthers, who, dude, we honestly could be playing for them right now because they've basically sat everybody in injuries. So they don't exactly have a incredibly difficult road to get in.
No, but they're going to lose tonight to Columbus.
Maybe.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I have them losing tonight before the game was even 1-0. But
You know what? You might be right on that because Columbus just had a players-only meeting after their last game. So you know how that tends to get a bump that following game. So maybe.
a slight uptick.
But that game against Minnesota, like you're down 4-1, which was crazy. I know Minnesota's good. I get that. But Minnesota, you're down 4-1. You come all the way back. You tie the game. And then your most veteran player takes one of the most egregiously dumb fucking penalties. With your season kind of hanging in the balance.
Yeah, you come back all the way to have, like you said, one of your veteran.
It's going to be a Hall of Famer.
Should be one of your more skilled and thought,
Three-time Stanley Cup champ.
Yeah.
Going to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
And you do that at the dying minutes of the game
Yeah.
to put your team shorthanded, which that team got scored on.
Which to me, that's one of the reasons why I kind of wrote this team off already. I wrote them off a while ago. I wrote them off earlier. And for me, it's there's something definitely wrong with that roster and that locker room. They just do not have any fight, again, that you come all the way back in that game, and a guy who should never take that penalty, ever, takes that penalty.
Do you think it's the same thing as like last year that Yzerman didn't do enough at the deadline and they're pissed off about it or whatever?
I can't say that there's not a little bit of that. I think some of the guys are pissed off that they're not going for more. You know what I mean? As far as, not that anybody on that team is going to talk shit about anybody else on that team, but they know there's better players that could have been that could have been traded for.
Well, another thing I heard, I don't remember after which game it was. I think it was by JT Compher after one of the game. He said something to the effect of, and I'm trying to find it because I don't want to misquote him, but it just basically it's almost looks like he's defeated. He's like, after one of the games, he's like, it is what it is. It's like, wow, really?
That says a lot.
It is what it is. Like, wow. Maybe if they do make the playoffs, just have that as your playoff mantra. It is what it is.
We made the playoffs. It is what it is.
Like, I think that's crazy.
Welcome to the Eastern Conference Stanley Cup playoffs. It is what it is.
It is what it is. And this is kind of what I wanted to find was you talking about that there's outside noise that is weighing on the team. I'm sorry, you can't let that be a thing. You can't. If you guys, and this tells me right here that this is not a team. This is a club. This is not a team.
Yeah.
If you're gonna let outside noise affect what you guys do on the ice, that tells me you guys are not together in that locker room. You're not.
No.
And I think it's crazy. And this is why, even if they do make the playoffs, I say 5 games at most. And we talk about is are they going to fire Steve Yzerman? No. As much as I think he should be gone if they don't make the playoffs.
I think he absolutely should be gone.
But he's not going to be.
No.
And we kind of talked about it in the group chat a little bit, and what we think was going to happen would be that they bump him up to president of whatever and install either Sean Horkoff or Chris Draper as the GM.
Yeah.
Okay, but again, you're still not eliminating the problem here. You're just kicking it down the road a little bit. But yeah, you know how much I adore Steve Yzerman, but in this circumstance, he has not gotten the job done. He hasn't.
No.
And I gave him a pass for a long time of it because I think he got kind of jobbed a little bit on expediting the rebuild, which I don't think they should have done, but I don't think he had a choice in the matter. But now it's to the point where you have really good young talent. You have one of the best defensemen in the league in Mo Seider. You have cap space. You have assets. And you do nothing with them. Nothing. Well, you could have made a huge splash any time this season with the assets and draft capital and salary cap that you have. And you did David Perron, who's like 50.
But he's a good locker room guy.
That's what I've been told. And I don't mind the Justin Falk move, but it's not like...
The Justin Falk move I did like.
No, yeah.
But it needed to be something other than that, too.
Agree, yes.
It couldn't have been, like, it should not have been the only substantial move you made besides getting Perron back for a locker room guy.
Now, and if everything I hear is accurate, and I mean, I've heard this from a lot of people who would know. If you would have swung the trade for Quinn Hughes, which if you would have given up what Vancouver was asking for, he absolutely would have gone there, and I guarantee he'd resign too. He would have resigned. Yeah. He wanted to go to Detroit. He wanted to go to Detroit. And you balked at it for what? For a lottery ticket. That's what you balked at, getting one of the best defensemen in the league. You could have paired him up with Mo Seider.
But here's the thing that we talk about all the time too, is for some reason there's a lot of GMs that look at draft picks like they're just this coveted holy grail that you just hold up and covet, and just it's you're precious, right? You gotta love it and hold it and nurture it and squeeze it. And,
Yes.
But when you've got a player like that, we talk about in the NFL all the time too, right? Talk about with the Bills.
Oh yeah.
They could have gotten Jalen Waddle.
Yep.
For really not that hefty of a price, but they didn't want to part ways with a draft pick.
Yep.
When the guy you're getting is better than most anybody else you're going to draft that draft spot.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's even like the prospect that he didn't want to give up. It's like, is that guy going to turn out to be better than Quinn Hughes?
No.
Highly unlikely.
Highly unlikely. I was going to say, I said flat out no. You're right. It's more like highly unlikely.
Yeah.
Because you can't say flat out no, but it's pretty much a no.
So you kept it for what reason? When you could have had him. I mean, I know you could have drafted him, but you decided not to for whatever reason. But again, it's stuff like that stacks up against him in his regime here. It's like, dude, I think your GM legacy is taking a massive hit.
Do I think that some of the moves were brought on by ownership? I do think there's a few of them.
Hmm?
But with that being said, I think there's plenty of moves that Steve has made without ownership interference, without ownership input, that have flat out, not that they just haven't panned out, they have completely crashed out.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of those moves. And that wasn't what we were expecting to get bringing him from Tampa.
No. And I specifically thought that once they got over that, quote, rebuild phase, then he was going to say, okay, now I can actually do some stuff. And he hasn't. And I don't understand it. I don't get it. I honestly don't understand it. What are you waiting for? Like, you have a fan base that is just ready to explode because you made the playoffs. And frankly, the NHL is better when the Red Wings are good. It just is.
Yeah.
As much as I hate to say that, it's true.
The NHL itself is yearning for the Wings to make the playoffs again and bounce back.
And you're just like, nah, we're good.
Well, and it's going to be 10. I'm telling you, it's going to be 10 years this year. This will be the 10th year they didn't make the playoffs, and you cannot have that. You can't.
No. Well, you know who always makes it?
Yes, Jason Stiltner from Flagstar Bank.
Whether you're buying or selling your home, now's the time to take advantage of having the expertise of 3 real estate agents for the price of 1 on your side. Make the right move with the right group, the Joe Wright Group. Give Craig Joe Wright, Mike Bush, and Shane Wilson a call today at 248-535-4750 to fulfill all of your real estate needs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you were expecting me to throw you off and do the Joe Wright, weren't you?
No, I was going to say whichever one you picked, I was going to do the opposite one.
Gotcha.
So, yes, I was kind of waiting, I guess. So
Wait, so which one did you do?
I did the Joe Wright Group.
Well, I had the Stiltner
I know you did.
thing up there for it.
I know.
Fuck. Just goes to show I didn't pay attention to your read.
And then it dawned on you, you're like, wait a minute.
Well, when you said that, it dawned on me. I really wasn't paying attention. I was in my own world over here while you were reading.
Nice. All right. So, anyways, Michigan basketball, national champions.
Yes, national champions.
National champions.
I did not stay up for the game last night.
I did. I watched the whole thing. I even stayed up for one shining moment, which is awesome. It's always good. It hits a little bit different when it's your team that wins.
Yes.
It's always been good, except for that one weird year where they decided to go with Jennifer Hudson's version of it, and people lost their fucking mind. And they were like, we can never play this version ever again. Ever.
Which is a good thing.
Yes, I concur with that 1,000,000%. I liked that game. People said, oh, it was a boring game. I loved it. I thought it was incredibly physical.
So I watched the entire first half.
Yeah.
And I'm with you. I didn't think it was boring.
No, I thought it was great. This, to me, it looked like somewhat old school basketball.
Yeah.
Like, too many 3-pointers? Yes, it's just the game now. But when they got to the paint,
yeah,
like, you could actually defend it, not just let them get to the rack and, okay, it's fine.
Well, and I will say that Michigan ended up needing to play the UConn style of basketball.
I think that was
And-
because of UConn.
And it was. UConn made them play their style of basketball. And I think I counted, at least what I saw, because I actually watched the second half today.
Yeah.
From what I saw, I saw about 3 actual fast breaks that Michigan got where they actually were able to take it end to end. That's playing half court basketball is not really truly their game.
It is not.
They're more of a running team. They're more of a get you
Oh yeah, in transition.
mismatch, get you in transition. Every once in a while, bounce it back out for the 3. It's transition, it's threes. But they played UConn's style of basketball last night.
Because they had to.
And
they didn't have a choice.
they didn't have a choice, but they beat them at their own game.
Yeah. And
That's what I think is impressive, is that they really did. They didn't play their own game to beat them. They
No.
played UConn's game to beat them.
And Dan Hurley even said that in the first half when they interviewed him during a TV timeout. He goes, "It's the only way we got a shot. If we play their style, we're not going to win.
Yeah.
Like flat out, we got to make this basically a rock fight."
Yep. And they did.
And they
but
did, and credit to 'em.
But I was gonna say, but Michigan still. I was never really worried about them. At least again, I didn't watch the second half until today. But
Yeah.
like first half watching it, I wasn't necessarily worried. I know they were only up, but were they up by 4 at half?
4 or 5, yeah.
So like, even then, I wasn't necessarily worried. I still felt they had the upper hand, and even though they were playing UConn's game because they kind of had to, they were still the better team. So to wake up today and see that they won,
Yeah.
I wasn't surprised.
I mean, I look at it this way: if Elliot Cadeau doesn't do what he did last night,
Yeah,
I think they get blown out. I really do.
they
That,
could.
that dude was outstanding last night.
Yeah,
He was outstanding last night.
And for a guy that, I mean, listen, let's talk about the 5 transfers in the starting lineup that they had, which is a record.
Oh, you mean the best team money could buy?
That's
Like every time I see that,
that's the rules.
I see that, I'm like, yeah, that's how college sports work now, dude.
That's the
Do you-
rules.
Do you
now.
not realize that?
That's the rules.
Yes, that's the rules. That's how it
And
works.
and Cadeau was actually a cast off
Yep.
because he couldn't find his shot. He had no confidence.
Right.
But yet he comes to Michigan, and now all of a sudden it's he's the best money could buy.
Right.
Well, he couldn't buy a shot
Oh.
before, but he has turned into a hell of a basketball player on Michigan
Yep.
after being a cast off.
Yep. Well, that was the thing. Like last night, especially because Landenborg was. He obviously wasn't right. He wasn't 100%. I
No.
like it at halftime. He even said that. He goes, "I feel terrible.
Yeah.
Like I'm weak. I'm not good. etc. Whatever." And I mean, they hit what 2 3-pointers the entire game.
Yeah.
2 3-pointers the entire game. And that's what I was worried. I'm like, dude, if they don't start hitting at least a couple of these,
Yeah.
that might be good. But credit to Dan Hurley because he said this. Everybody's bitching about the officiating, like, oh, it was all in favor of Michigan, which I don't necessarily agree with. But he said, it's hard to ref that game. We both played so hard. If I could have those 3 guys ref every game the rest of my career, I would sleep well at night. And that's the opposing coach saying that. It's like, okay. Here's another one, too, all these clowns that say, oh, Michigan got helped by the refs and the refs won the game. UConn averaged 18 fouls per game, right? They were undersized against Illinois and committed 21 fouls in the Final Four. Okay? Nobody said anything about that, right? Did you hear anybody saying that UConn got a free ride to the national championship game?
No.
No? Okay. So they were undersized against Michigan, too, and it showed. They were significantly undersized against Michigan. And they committed 22 fouls. So it's not like this was like a one-off thing, guys. This is who UConn is.
Yes.
They foul people. They averaged 18 fouls per game. So stop trying to make it out like this is Michigan won because of the refs. They didn't.
Well, that's UConn's game. They play a half court game. They are okay with fouling. They're okay with giving up some fouls.
Yes.
That's the game they play.
It is. Yeah, 100%. And that's fine. And that's all well and good. But this is where I think Michigan won the game is because when they got to the line,
They hit them.
they made their free throws.
Yeah.
They made their free throws. Except for those the 2 we missed like toward the end of the game. And I was just like,
Yeah.
I was like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, you're a good free throw shooter. Come on.
I'm trying to think if I saw those or not because I did fast forward through a little bit of the second half when I watched it.
It was
today,
I was
but-
like, come on, man. What are we doing here?
Is this looking at this team, I mean, they went on an impressive run.
Oh yeah. Oh wait a minute.
This-
It's easiest path to the national championship
No.
ever.
Okay.
I hate that shit, man.
Hey, man.
I hate it.
Let me guess. Is it State fans?
Of
saying
course
that?
it is.
Anyway, here's the thing I'm not going to do other than just then. I'm not going to mention the other team in this state because it has nothing to do with this conversation other than to say the team that bounced them out of the tournament was UConn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Michigan beat them for the championship. Other than that, I'm not going to say anything because any Michigan fan and any state fan saying anything to each other today makes no fucking sense. This is not about state.
Nope.
This is about Michigan. Michigan won. State fan wants to get all butthurt and claim best team money could buy or easiest path to the championship or whatever you want to say. Enjoy that. If that makes you feel better, do that.
It does make them feel better. That's why they do it.
But again, they're losers. That's a loser mentality.
I agree with you.
They're fucking losers. Sorry, I'm in a bad mood anyway, and
No, you're right though.
I've read a little bit about that today, and I'm just like, what the fuck? You are the biggest loser in the world. If a team wins a national championship, and because you're a rival, you're just gonna go, well, it didn't matter because they had the easiest path, and they're the best team money could buy, and oh, okay, so they played the teams that were in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
And beat them. Okay.
Yep.
And not just beat them handily. Most games.
Most
of the games were they beat them fucking handily.
Yeah.
And then that's the way college basketball is. That's the way college sports is played right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's the best team money can buy.
Yep.
Everyone is putting together the best team money can buy. Everybody's putting together the best team that their money can buy. Now, whichever team wins is actually the best team money can buy because they win it all. But every single school is putting together the best team that
Right.
their money can buy.
I gotta say, this is how this shit works now.
It's
This is how the shit works now.
But it's how it worked before too. Just some schools weren't doing it.
Right.
Now it's legal
Yes.
and everybody's doing it.
But when I see people talking about is this the greatest college basketball team of all time? No, it isn't. Stop
No,
it.
where would you rank them? Because I agree with you. Hearing that it's the greatest ever,
Well,
I think that's a stretch.
I mean,
man.
first of all,
they had a hell of a run.
they did. I mean, they didn't go undefeated, so
they had a
it's
hell
hard,
of a
It's hard to
season.
say that they're the best because they didn't go undefeated.
Right. They lost 2 games.
Lost 3 games.
3 games. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, because they lost that last game. I wasn't counting the last game to
And
Purdue in
the
the
Big Ten
tournament.
championship.
Yeah,
or the
yeah.
Big Ten tournament. Yeah.
Yeah.
They lost 3 games. Okay. Now, were they? I mean, this season they were obviously arguably the best team in the country the entire season, right? Yeah. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, there was a couple weeks where people didn't consider
Right.
them that,
It
but
was
I would
sometimes
say
one week was Arizona, one week
Yeah.
was Duke. Whatever it was.
But I would say, for the most part, yes, they were widely considered. Them and Arizona were widely considered the 2 best teams
Right.
in college basketball.
Where would I rank this team all time? I see. I don't like doing that because of eras. I don't.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously you got all those UCLA teams. The Wooden Dynasty. Those Indiana teams. I think it's the last team to go undefeated and win a natty was that one of Indiana's teams. So it's incredibly hard to do. And that's why I can't say that Michigan is the greatest of all time. 'Cause
Right.
They didn't go undefeated.
right. No, I don't think you could say that.
I mean,
I think this was a very impressive run.
it was. It absolutely
and,
was.
and that's maybe you don't have to rank it anywhere, but like their regular season, the only thing that would have made this better for them is if they did pull off that game against Purdue in the Big Ten
Yes.
championship game.
You get
in
the
the Big Ten
trifecta, you
tournament.
win the Big Ten
yeah, you win
regular
the Big
season,
Ten, win
yeah.
the Big Ten tournament, and win the actual tournament.
But maybe that's what they needed.
Yeah, it's very true. It very well could have been. If you're looking at it, I mean, they won the game last night by 6, but if you're looking at it, they won 18 against Arizona, 33 against Tennessee.
Which, again, was arguably the best team in the country.
13 point against Alabama.
Yeah.
And then, again, a 23-point win against St. Louis. And, of course, Howard, they beat them by 21. But, the Howard and St. Louis, lots of teams in that first and second round are playing what people would consider cast-offs.
Yes.
I mean, there's 68 fucking teams in this
And it's going to
tournament.
get worse because they're going to make it. They're going to make it bigger.
68
It's gonna get
fucking
worse.
teams. So the first couple rounds are nothing really to write home about for anybody's wins. I don't think anybody in the first couple games can say anything about their wins, truthfully. But it was a magical fucking run for that team, man.
So I caught this on Twitter. I didn't watch it or listen to it because I don't like them, but I saw the headline that apparently the studio gangster absolutely ripped Michigan State.
Really?
Absolutely ripped them.
Today?
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yep. He's like, their football program's better than yours, their hockey program's better than yours, their basketball program's better than yours.
I saw something. I was just trying to look it up on I saw something on Facebook about 97.1.
Maybe that's where I saw it. On Facebook.
I saw something on Facebook where they did a topic today. Again, I don't listen to them too much, and I definitely didn't listen to them today.
Yeah.
But they did a topic that was I couldn't find it, but let me try to think of what it was. It was, would you rather, which one is better to you as a Michigan fan? And I think this is their Sparty coming out on this show. Which one do you like better? The national championship that you won in football, or that Michigan won in football, even though they cheated, or the cheat-free national championship by the basketball team. That was their topic today. I think just to bring up that Michigan cheated in football, they just want to bring that up again. That one kind of soured me. I'm like, that's one of the things that I read where I was like, really? Today you're just going to bring that just because I know they pose it as a topic for Michigan fans to be like, well, no, we don't mean any disrespect by this. Then why are you bringing up cheating in the football team? They just won the national championship in basketball. It has nothing to do with it.
Because they can't use the basketball thing anymore.
Right.
Because the only difference between the basketball schools now is one Final Four appearance. That's it. They both have 2 natties, and Michigan's been in the Final Four 9 times. Michigan State's been in the Final Four 10. You can't use that argument anymore. It's a wrap.
Yep.
It's done.
So you got to bring up, well, which one's better to you? The football team who cheated or with the cheating scandal, or the basketball team who didn't cheat?
The football one.
That's what I say. The football one.
The football one.
Absolutely. You know why? Because football's king.
Yep.
Do I love that Michigan won last night? Absolutely. Did
Yes.
I enjoy watching the first half before I fell asleep into the second half?
Yeah.
Because I was just not feeling good and tired and I couldn't do it. I fucking loved it. And I wish I could have stayed up for it. I do. I wish I could have stayed up and watched it, but I watched it today. Yeah, the football one's better for me. I don't care whether you say they cheated or not. I don't give a fucking rat's ass. Don't give a shit. They won. They're not taking it away.
Nope.
You know who else is a winner?
I do.
Yes.
My man, Jason Stiltner. If you're a homeowner or looking to be a first-time homebuyer, give Jason Stiltner, Senior Loan Officer at Flagstar Bank, a call today at 248-752-3631. Jason has great mortgage programs for first-time homebuyers, including down payment assistance options and excellent interest rates. Again, give my guy, Jason Stiltner from Flagstar Bank, a call today at 248-752-3631 and get the excellent service you deserve. Flagstar Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC, NMLS number 27546.
Yeah. By the way, I put up the Joe Wright group one for that.
Did you?
just for the entire thing. If anybody's watching, it's because Chris
a
fucked
joke.
me up on the first one. It's a joke.
it's a
So
joke.
just, go with it and enjoy it. Or don't. Don't give a shit.
So we have that, and then Michigan hockey has a chance to win a national championship this weekend.
They do?
They got the semifinal game on Thursday night, I believe. Yeah, Thursday.
I think so, yes.
God, can you imagine that if Michigan hockey actually won too? Which I don't see it. I don't think their defense is good enough to do it. But who knows? We'll see.
I don't know enough about their hockey team to say, but I'm definitely
don't get me
rooting
wrong,
for it.
They're good. They have too many defensive breakdowns for me.
Yeah.
That's why I don't see it. But it would be amazing if it happened. If you're the hockey team, you have to look at what the basketball team did yesterday and be like, "Oh, now we got to win." We got to win now. But we'll see.
I would love to see that. That'd be awesome.
And this is I guess the frustrating part about this. We hammered Ward Manuel, and deservedly so.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
And obviously, since new stuff has come out about that whole thing, which kind of, I don't want to say exonerates Sharon Moore, but it looks a lot better now than it did then when it came out.
Uh-huh.
Like a lot better.
Yeah.
And he was, you should apologize to Ward Manuel. No, I'm still not going to do that.
No.
But
No.
I mean,
Listen.
I guess the calls for his head on on a silver platter.
Yeah, but he's also done enough things.
I agree with you.
For that to be called for anyway.
But he also hired a coach that just won a national championship.
True.
He hired a coach that won a football national championship, and he might have hired a coach that might win a hockey national championship. So you got to take, what is important to you here,
Well, I would like for Michigan to be winning these without any scandals anymore.
Yes, I agree with you.
That's my preference.
Right.
Can we cut down on the bullshit and the scandals?
Yeah.
Can we do that? Because the championships and the runs in the tournaments,
They're nice.
They're great. They're
But
But we'd like to have it done without scandals.
it'd be nice if it didn't have like the asterisk by it. Or
Yeah.
whatever. Like
It'd be-
but
It'd be nice if,
Right.
if we didn't have to deal with the BS behind
Right.
the winning.
Yes, agreed,
too.
100%.
Winning is great. But
Yeah, so it's I don't know how you want to look at it, but we'll
no,
see.
and
We'll see.
I'm not going to apologize to him.
No.
Would I be saying the same thing today as I did before? No.
No.
But again, I'm not going to fucking give an apology.
No, that's not how that works.
Kiss my ass.
Yes.
That's your apology.
Well done. Is there anything else you want to rant on? Because you seem like you're in the ranting mood.
No, I kind of am. I'm just in a bad mood. I don't feel good.
Neither do I. I got a massive headache.
Yeah, and I, so it is what it is. But yeah, I'm very angry. I'm angry Joe today, just at anything that strikes me as angry.
Huh.
That I should get angry at.
That's fun.
No, I don't. But I do want to tell you where you should go if you're looking for a great spot to go eat or to watch any of the sports. To watch the Wings games tonight. Games coming up, going into the playoffs, or maybe the playoffs for the Wings. They're fighting for a playoff spot.
Playoffs.
Go to playoffs. Look no further than Tap and Barrel Grill in Shelby Township. They're one of the newest sports bars in Metro Detroit. They're an upscale sports bar. They feature over 40 craft beers on tap, handcrafted cocktails, and a delicious scratch-made food menu.
That
They have
patio open yet?
The patio is open. They have an amazing patio, which was voted best in Macomb County by Crane's Detroit Weekly. They have a comfortable feel, an attentive staff, and fine dining food options, which make it a must-visit spot for sports fans and foodies alike. Whether you're watching the big game or just looking for a great meal, Tap and Barrel Grill has you covered. Visit them at 50055 Van Dyke Avenue or go to tapandbarrelgrill.com.
I got to get out there for brunch one of these days.
I would agree with you.
No.
We do need to do that.
Yes, that does sound like an idea one of these days.
Yes. Okay. So, being that I'm not really feeling well and you got a headache, are we looking to do anything NFL, or we're gonna kind of pass on NFL this week and
We're closer to the draft.
dive in closer as it gets to the draft?
Yeah. Do
Okay.
that, yeah.
Let's do that. All right. Anything else you got then, or this is going to be a quick and
Succinct show.
Yes. Listen to the fucking point. Is
Yeah,
what it is.
I think we did all right with this one.
Yeah. Give us a like, a share, and a follow on our social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. You can find all of our podcasts on your favorite podcast provider. As always, check out SOTDET.com. Click on shop, buy some stuff. We would appreciate it. It supports the show. Also, click on our sponsors' logos. Give them a like, a share, and a follow while you're there as well. SOTDET.com. On behalf of Chris, I'm Joe. We are Sports on Tap Detroit. See you next Tuesday.
And that is it for us today.
No! God, please, no!
Bye, have a great time.
No! God!
Bye, guys.
No, 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 no.
Bye, buddy.
No!
Goodbye.
No!
Goodbye.
No!
It's never goodbye.
You know, we've been through our ups and been through our downs.
You were meant to be here tonight.
You guys will always be in my heart.
Great moments are born from great opportunity.
I think the most important part is that we all stay together throughout.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Live. Fight like hell. The best thing I have ever done, the best thing I will ever do, is be a dad.
God, I love you guys. Mamba out.